Hi, and welcome to this Power Talk on Success. I'm Gulraj Shahpuri. I'm a strategic leadership trainer, coach, and a mentor to a lot of people. Today's Power Talk is going to be a three-part Power Talk. Today we're going to talk about self-confidence, and then the next one we'll talk about self-esteem, and then the third one we'll put it all together because this is the success equation: self-confidence times self-esteem, and a couple of other things like opportunity and luck equals success. But today's part is very interesting to me because we're going to talk about self-confidence, something very important to me. When I was growing up, I was a very underconfident child. I was so underconfident. In fact, I don't know anybody that was less confident than I was. And you know what? It just didn't strike to anybody that we got to do something about this kid, because people would say something like, you know, you got to get out of your shell, or you have to do this. But nobody really understood what self-confidence was all about. But over the years, a lot of research has been done, and now the results are in, and it's time to analyze them, guys. Self-confidence comprises of two things primarily: skill and practice. We've heard a lot of stuff about self-confidence, what self-confidence is, and this and that. That's all skills. Self-confidence is a lot of skills, but the problem is people don't practice the skills, and that's where the system breaks down. You know, I have lots of write-ups about things like recipes for self-confidence, in which I could go on for pages and pages with you guys that I write about, but these are all skills. It's the practice that matters, and this is where people goof it up. You know, even I used to do this all the time. I remember, I think it was grade 9, where I got a math assignment, and my teacher announced, spur of the moment, tomorrow there's going to be a test. I came home and I told my mom, you know, there's going to be a test tomorrow, so I'm studying for it. 10 minutes later, she says, well, what about your studies? I said, I'm all done. She said, well, where is it? I said, you know what? I've understood it, so it's going to be fine. And she said, shouldn't you practice? I said, you know what? Math is one of those things which either you get or you don't, and I got it. I don't need to practice. I'll do okay. Sure enough, next day, I got a 60%. You know why? I hadn't practiced. There's a lot of things about self-confidence. You know, kids, close your ears. Self-confidence, guys, is sexy. Self-confidence really matters. It creates such a charisma that I even have this whole thing that I wrote about. It's called the 4 C's of charisma, and the first thing is self-confidence on it. Self-confidence is such a cool concept, but if you don't practice what you're going to do, it's all going to go away, and it's going to be there for just a few seconds. And when you're in a real life situation, because you've not practiced it, it's just one of those things that you've not developed the muscles of doing. And then when you have to actually perform it, you have that whole anxiety. Now, a lot of times people have self-confidence issues when they have approach anxiety. That's self-confidence. When you have to speak on a stage, for a lot of people, that's self-confidence. When a lot of people have to when you have to interact with somebody, that's self-confidence. All of those things can be learned. The funny thing about self-confidence is a learned skill, and nobody's born with it. In fact, a lot of people say, you know, I wish I had his confidence. Well, you can, but then when you ask them, well, what's stopping you? They say, well, you know, it's just not in me. They're assigning it to an external locus of focus. It's not something that's around you or outside you. It's something that is learned and comes inside of you. Nobody's born with this, and guys, thinking this is a big mistake. This is the type of mistake that will kill you, because you're going to lose so many opportunities if you don't master this, and the mastery comes from practice. Skills we can all learn. Skills, you're going to go to the internet, you can go get books, you can learn them by watching people. There's so many thousands of ways. You can come to me, I can teach you all sorts of skills. Unless you actually do it, you don't actually master the skill. And there's something about this whole theory I often teach called learn, practice, and teach, in which when you learn a skill, guys, you're only mastering it about 10%. You might think you know it, just like I felt I knew my math stuff, but I didn't really. When you practice something, you learn an additional 70% of it. And you know what, guys? It's awesome, because 10 plus 70 is 80%, and that's pretty good. If you want to get beyond that, then you have to actually teach it. And luckily, I get to do that. So after I've been teaching a lot of self-confidence, guys, you know, the secret is I've become a lot more self-confident than I ever was. And I can't go around telling people that, but I guess now the secret is out. But it's the practice that's the key thing here, guys. So watch out for the second part. It's going to be awesome, because that's where I tell you guys about what self-esteem is. Because self-esteem times self-confidence, that's the success equation. So for now, you're going to learn a lot of skills throughout your life. when you put them in practice, you master this thing called self-confidence. So guys, this was the first video in this series. The second video is on self-esteem, and the third video puts it all together. If you're watching this on YouTube, guys, do subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on Facebook or LinkedIn, share it and like these things, because you know what? You're going to be glad you did it. This is going to be something that's so fundamental for everybody. The success equation changed my life, guys, and I hope it changes yours. I'm Gulraj Shahpuri, and thank you for watching.